It's alright. We can start without him, and he can join whenever. So a little bit of saxophone sets the stage, I believe. Alright, my gamers are ready, guys. First series of the night, obviously 4 best of 5s, 500 buckies in total. As always, Jay is ready, Alex is ready. Alex has been doing really good. He's been making some waves over at the ladder. Jay had a phenomenal Monday. You have a phenomenal Monday, you get invited. Life can be that simple. And obviously very excited to see our BASILISK boys later tonight. We're gonna kick things off on Hellscape, guys. Fun map. Big fan. I think Alex is a small favorite for this series, but if Jay is anywhere near as good as he was last Monday, then Jay should win. Because he got some phenomenal victories. My scoreboard was good, now it's bad. Let's do it. Big Brain Bouts number 93. 93 is ridiculous.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
Welcome, and let's have some fun together. In the top right side, to kick off this exciting night of video gaming, we are looking at the main base of a friend of the channel. It is the Italian all-around star video gamer, Deadlock, Battle Aces, doesn't matter, he's good. But perhaps he's the best right now in Starcraft 2. Look at this guy. Going from 4-7 since I've known him to 5-5 right now on the ladder is honestly kind of ridiculous. It's an amazing improvement. I've seen very few people improve by like 800-900 MMR like that. He can be very proud of that. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man who I think defeated Baby Marine and Shutdown last Monday. That is so impressive. Both of those guys are ridiculously good 6k MMR gamers. He's gonna need to bring some of that Monday night magic to the Friday night if he wants to win this best of 5. 60 bucks for the winner. This is Jay. And Hellscape, one of the maps that we sometimes use on the Monday, but I believe it's currently being rotated out, which I'm personally a little bit sad of. Or maybe it was rotated out of the Big Brain Bouts map when I put it back in. It's because I think this map has nowhere near lived up to its potential yet. It's just good, it's fun, it gives us great games. And I want to see more of Hellscape. Kind of want to see Hellscape make it into a ladder map pool, to be honest, but... So it's funny that you asked that, Legoland, because I actually casted J Money Magic against Jay once. And J Money Magic won 2-0. 2 borderline all-ins, but he 2-0'd. I think it was one of J Money's finer moments in any of these qualifiers or weekly cups. He shrugged it off like it was just another day at the office, and you know, he kind of expected it, but I think it was a very big deal for J Money. I think overall Jay is quite a bit better. I have no idea when there will be new ladder map pools. Some people even seem to believe that we'll never get a new ladder map pool. No, I don't believe in that. Obviously, a lot of it is uncertain right now, and I think a lot of it is just not even decided yet. But by the time that it is all decided, we'll figure it out. There will be some communications about it. I think we're gonna have to be somewhat patient, but hey. I think they've already been testing our patience as StarCraft 2 fans over the last few years, so... What's a few more months of uncertainty and being in the dark? Nothing crazy to me. Adapche takes a little look into the natural. Everything is very standard so far. I think you guys know that if you ever have any questions about the standard builds that we are watching, I will gladly always answer them. But it kind of speaks for itself. A 1 gate fast expand with an oracle and a 3 hatchery setup on the side of Jay. I believe that Canadian Jay is capable of being aggressive, being somewhat cheesy. I also kind of think that might be mandatory for him in this best of 5. Because if we're just gonna sit back and wait throughout the entire series, I kind of think Alex is going to be a little bit too powerful. So we're gonna have to switch it up, and I believe that is what a lot of ZVP is going to be about anyway in this modern age of StarCraft 2. There is no such thing as playing the exact same build 5 games in a row and think you're going to be fine. You're gonna have to find that fine line between units and drones and aggression and all that macro and giving your opponent some different looks. And just make it a bit more scary for the Protoss to move out. Make it scary for the Protoss to look for damage. One hell of a wall off here, by the way. Lego's asking if this is an Archon drop. It is definitely looking like it. The Christianer, as people have called it. Wait, he did not... Oh. Why is it so glowy, guys? Why is it so glowy? He didn't deactivate it. That was actually running for a little while now. You have plenty of energy, even with only one Oracle. If you use recharge. But minor mistake here, perhaps, on the side of Alex. So extra gateways coming online. Templar Archives being warped in. It's probably just going to be Archon drop into Zealot charge into Immortals. I think we just kind of take the game from there. See how well the Archons do. See what the Zerg is up to. Obviously, you can't have a game plan for the first 12 minutes. You kind of need to react to what your opponent is doing too. You can have an idea of how you want to play it out. But it is important to adjust your game plan a little based on what you see and what you can do. Like, if your opening is phenomenal with the Oracle and the Archons, you can warp in 8 gateways and warp in a bunch of Zealots and try to kill your opponent. If you get very little done, it makes more sense to sit back. You struggle versus Widowmine drops. Any advice on that? Oh, this is actually very good on the side of Jay and very rough on the side of Alex. As Alex tried to morph his Archons in the center of the map. Zerglings were all over it. We saved the Archons, but it's a wasted recall. To answer your Widowmine question, the easy answer is play Phoenix. If you play Phoenix against Terran, you'll never struggle with Widowmines. If you don't want to play Phoenix, then it's about vision. Get pylons on the edge of your main, put an observer in that space, and just know when it's coming in advance. Look at them links go! Sweet baby Jesus! Jay just walks on in there into the third base, and a lot of people seem to think that Alex was the overwhelming favorite coming into this series. What a start by Jay so far. Jay has not done really anything wrong. He has killed the Adept, did not take any damage from the Oracle, got on top of the morphing Archons in the center of the map, forced a recall, and right when Alex picked those Archons up to fly out again, the Lynx got on top of the probes. There's no shield battery overcharge to save your workers. This is phenomenal so far on the side of Jay, guys. Very, very, very clean. One thing I'm a tiny bit worried about is his drone count. His drone count is maybe a little bit lower than it should be. I mean, if we straight up win the game with Hydraulic Bane, who's gonna look back at that drone count and say, he didn't have that many drones? The problem is you can do so many things right, but if your economy is weak, snipe the Prism! And Alex is probably semi-tilted after this first game. It's like, what on earth is happening here? And the Hydras can snipe the Zealot here, guys, and that means that Zerglings could walk in. No, that's not going to happen. Great wall-up in the end. Storm is done. Hydra count is high, though. The Hydra count is high, but those are some pretty damn solid Storms to kick this hold off with. Still a lot of links remaining. Another fantastic Storm. Immortal gets saved. Very few extra Protoss units remaining, but saving that Immortal is mega. Alex does have a lot of money, though. And more links coming in from the top. They have killed 11 pros. What an explosive start to this Friday night of video gaming. 7 minutes and 41 seconds of, honestly, all J. That is a surprisingly powerful, clean, and great game on the side of Jay. I think if you're a friend of Alex, you don't have to be Omega concerned yet. Thinking that this is how the entire best of 5 is going to look. Especially if you play Protoss, you just have some of these games where literally nothing works out. And every single thing that you come up with, your opponent already has an answer for it or throws a spanner in the works and you fall further behind. But obviously Alex is going to have to be like a bit sharper throughout the series. He's going to have to maybe play with a bit more commitment to his move outs. Whether it's with Oracles or with Archons, you need to get something done. I don't think he killed a single drone in this entire game. Not one drone. And that is never a sweet way to start off a best of 5. I kind of thought we were going to have a chill start to the night, guys. It was like Friday night, 4 best of 5s. It's already been a very long Friday for me, but I was just looking forward to this. Always exciting to see Rainer play some video games for the first time in like, what, 3 months, I think? I don't know, take a look at his Aligalek. When was his last official appearance? But I know he did a couple streams and I saw him play a few games as well, but that's not the same. Couple games on stream, not the same as money on the line, tournament, few days to get ready. So that's what I was mostly looking forward to. And I was like, maybe the first and second series are going to be a bit chill. We'll have some fun. Take it from there. But Canadian Jay, had something else in mind. He said if I get invited, I'll put on a show, and this is a very strong start.
Round 2, fight!
Exactly, Lego. He did hardly made it to the other side of the map. The Oracle did it once. The Warp Prism tried twice to no avail. Yeah, this is a rough game. But the funny thing is that it also felt that he was still almost close to holding that, right? If he has 2 cannons at the third, and he has an answer for those links coming in from the top side, and the Archons were still alive, the Immortals are still alive, we warp in another High Templar with energy recharge. Could have still made something of it. It's alright. It is what it is. It's only one game in the best of 5. Time to step it up. This is our Italian all-around variety gamer. Great in everything he touches. Alex. Recently peaking at 5,500 MMR. I do think that's maybe a short-term peak. I don't know if he's like good enough to maintain that consistently. But it does go to show that the man is a gamer. And he's onto something. Bottom left side of ley lines. Taking the 1-0 lead in this opening best of 5. It is our Canadian Zerg, Jay. That Monday was spectacular. Taking down some incredibly high-ranked players. Based on his first game, that wasn't a fluke. I know J Money Magic often drags a lot of attention and, puts himself in the spotlight. But what if the spotlight for the up-and-coming NA Zergies needs to be on Jay instead of J Money? Or what if we just need to make J Money against Jay happen? We can also do that. I am all for it. I think he's been studying Shin replays. I don't know. Maybe he's a member of the I want to say Loco, but not Loco. Lambo Academy. Lambo is running a Zerg Academy that I know J Money Magic is a member of. Or maybe Jay just gets the inside scoop. Leylines is a map where I feel like both races have things they can get very excited over. There are definitely some different ways for Zerg to sneak units to the other side of the map and maybe harass the third middle line. Like the main and the natural is often very hard, but the third could be somewhat wide open. Potentially Jay can take advantage of that. And Jay is also in the Patreon and he's probably learning from the very best out there. Yeah, Hydra Link Bane is a classic. I know in the past people were very keen on like always labeling a certain build after a player and tributing a player for it, but like Hydra Link Bane has been around since the dawn of day. If you look at Elaser, his magical runs in 2017, 2016, it's all off the back of Hydra Link Bane. Back then, of course, +2 Banelings, one-shot workers, and that's why that strategy was so popular and beloved. It has come and go. Maybe it's like not that good against like double Oracle because there's so many stasis traps to worry about, and maybe it's harder to keep your drones alive. But perhaps it's a very powerful answer to the single Oracle into the Archon drop. Hello, Alex. One of the many Alexes. Not the Italian Alex we're watching. Austrian Alex. How's Austrian Alex doing today? Seems like Alex, guys, is still a believer into his single Oracle, into Twilight Council, into Robo with 4 gases. Seems like we're heading towards a War Prism Archon follow-up once more. Could just be his bread and butter in this matchup right now. I think it's alright, but I really don't love it that much, and I think you should do it every single game. It's also really hard to play multiple styles and multiple openings with utmost confidence, like something that you can feel like you could truly rely on and you're familiar with all the different scenarios. I mean, last game his wall-off looked a little bit funky, but actually it turned out to be a really good wall-off because he had so much space to still warp in units behind that Zealot that was kind of holding the door, and then it was still a wall-off. So even if it looked a bit funny, I actually was a pretty big fan of his wall-off in the last game. May not have made the difference, but it was cute. Like what I personally feel about an opening like this And might be a bit of a hot take because obviously Cristiano has found so much success with single Oracle into Archons, and we know that Mana has done it quite often. Is that this is a really big Stargate investment where you build a Stargate, you build an Oracle, you even make energy recharge, or use it rather, and we're just not getting anything done. He's got 200 energy on this Oracle. There's a couple of links do get on top. The third kill, 2 workers. That's a lot of roaches in production. A single Void Ray. And I want to say, I think Alex is probably cooking or doing a whole lot better. At this point, he's got absolutely no idea. He's so paranoid about the damage he took. I'm going to go follow Alex's camera for a little bit. All the German Alexes. There are so many. I can't even think of all of them. Alright, sees extra links, now caught a glimpse of the Ravages. So I think at this point he knows, but I think this third base is just dead. I am afraid for Italian Alex here that the third base is just dead because there are so many Zerg units. And yeah, he's got 1 Oracle, but 4 Queens, and especially if there is some creep, and there will be creep. 4 Queens is way too much for a single Oracle to battle. Archons are gonna get some big hits up on the links, that's nice enough, but if you don't have cannons here, it's gonna be so hard for Italian Alex to spend his money because he's under an immense amount of pressure. He needs to micro, he needs to activate spells, he needs to pick up. This is where you need cannons and batteries for days. Man, Canadian Jay! Canadian Jay is flying! Alex should cancel these batteries and at least focus on stabilizing on 2 bases and then pray. But the beautiful thing that a lot of Zerg players have discovered is that not every attack needs to be, I'm gonna kill all 3 bases. You can just settle for killing 1 of the bases and then macro behind it. Go for a Spire, go for a 4th base. Fire up a couple rounds of drones. I am incredibly impressed by what Canadian Jay is showing us here. It's mega clean, just looks good, so decisive. I think Italian Alex is kind of dead. And he's really going to have to show us something else in game 3. We're going to have to be a bit more aggressive. We're going to have to be way more active on the other side of the map. As Legoland pointed out in the previous game, barely made it across the halfway point. If there was a 50-yard line, we can call it the 50-yard line. He's just sitting at home, he's in the dark, and he's basically dead. It happened last game, and it's gonna happen here again. With 36 workers and 12 army supply, we don't stand a chance. The Swarm! Canadian Jay! A stunning performance so far, guys. Honestly, nothing but praise and nothing but love. Because in my mind, Italian Alex was the favorite. Not the overwhelming favorite, as in I think this is a bad matchup. I just thought this is going to be really difficult for Canadian Jay. But maybe, you know, he can practice. He can put on one hell of a show. If he steals a couple mappies, that'd be awesome. And if he somehow wins the best of 5, it'd be amazing. It's like everything that Big Brain Bouts early rounds is about. This is mega so far. Is it Rainer wiring up? What if Rainer DM'd Canadian Jay and be like, hey mate, it's getting pretty late over in Korea. What if we split the prize money? You play Beyond at 4 a.m. my time. I'll play Italian Alex. I'll put him in a spot. I make you look good. If I lose against Beyond, it's okay. People will just say I've been playing League of Legends or I was partying with the boys. It's a win-win for everybody. It almost looks like it so far, but no, I know that Rainer would never do that. So it's not an option, but that's almost what it looks like. Very, very impressed, man. Very, very, very impressed. It's not over yet. And I hope for Alex that he's got something else up his sleeve in which he can turn this around. Of course, we are playing on the American server. But from the West Coast to Central, you're not going to have mega low ping. There might be a small ping advantage for Jay. But hey, there's an MMR advantage on the side of Alex. So have we ever I don't think I've ever seen Jay in any room, to be honest, Alex. I've met a lot of you lovely nerds over in the chat throughout history at various events. I've met a lot of the guys that I see in the Big Brain Bouts throughout history. I want to say I don't think I've ever met Canadian Jay. And if I did, then he definitely did not introduce himself as Canadian Jay. I think his ping advantage is big. Could be. I don't think it's that big. Might be somewhat decent, but hey. That is how we sort it as well. Jay was at Atlanta. Probably, maybe I shook his hand. Maybe I was able to look at him, say hi, shake his hand.
Round 3.
Fight.
Maybe he took a picture with me and the BASILISK boys, as we had a... Was that Atlanta or Dallas, where we had a booth? Well, not really a booth, but we had a photo set. I guess at both, right? I'm not sure. Did we do it at both Atlanta or... I think there were signing sessions at both of the DreamHacks back then. So. Maybe Jay took a picture with the BASILISK boys and I'm on it. I'll ask him next time I see him. Ball on the right side, guys. Down 0-2. Absolutely not a series so far. Is not able to get anything done on the other side of the map. The Italian Protoss down 0-2. It is Alex. Was eager to play in the Big Brain Bouts again. Said a while ago that he's always ready. And to be fair to Alex, he does play in a lot of online cups. He's very active on the ladders. A well-deserved invite, I say. But probably not quite what he was expecting up to this point. Down 0-2 against this man, who I may or may not have met. Maybe I gave him a hug. Maybe I gave him an autograph. Maybe we had a beer together. I don't know. What I do know is that he's playing amazing Starcraft so far tonight. It's our Canadian Zerg, Jay. You were in Atlanta as well, Fireclaw? Did I meet you? I never know. If people don't tell me their nickname, I can't possibly know. At TwitchCon, I met a couple Starcraft fans. And 2 of them were even like 90 or 100 months sub of me. They're like, hey, Roddy, I watch your stuff. But sometimes when people say that, you know, they meant, I saw you guys with Day 9 at BlizzCon one day, you know. But then some people are like, yeah, I've been subbed like 97 months. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, what's your nickname then? I should know. It was fun. I'm actually pretty excited for the upcoming TwitchCon as well. Because now I feel like I have a purpose. In the past, you know, TwitchCon was... I was like, okay, if I'm just going for Starcraft stuff, there isn't too much for me there. But now we've got a purpose. And I think TwitchCon is really fun. And how cool is it that it's being hosted in the greatest European city out there? I think that's pretty cool. I signed your hat. Vamos. Jay is making a lot of links with speed, guys. Jay is making a lot of Zerg links with speed. And Alex is gonna try to scout with his first adept, but it's sometimes hard to put 2 and 2 together. He's got no wall off yet. Oh no. Oh no. Is it a total disaster today? Is it a total disaster? Oracle nowhere near out yet. We're not chrono boosting it. The 2 adepts are in no man's land. If Alex can handle this properly, I'll be so impressed. Okay, now immediately wall off, wall off. Rico, you have to Rico and wall off. Okay. Oh my god, he got the wall off. There's even some drones in the mix as well. I cannot believe it, but he got the wall off in time. A great Rico, we got a wall off. It's still a lot of links, but with a full wall off, we are buying some incredibly crucial seconds. Need to keep on rewalling. Say, focus on this part of the rewall. Pilot on the left. Ooh. Okay, here's the Oracle. Energy recharge. We have successfully rewalled. Man, if Jay would have just clicked the circlings in immediately, no way that the full wall off goes down. Clutch save. Clutch by Alex. We've got a series. No trios, baby. This ain't Bully organizing another Big Brain Bouts. Just kidding, Bully. Your ending was very good. I feel like there was time, no? Wasn't that time, guys, for these links to get in? Is it the probe that saw it? Is that why we got the wall off in time? Thank you to Wardy for the raid. Welcome, guys. First series of the night. Sees the Zerglings here. Sees the drones as well. Oh, that's so good that he pulled 2. Actually, really, really good. Never thought he was going to have a wall off in time. But yeah, that's great. 2 probes. 1 on the top, 1 in the center. By having that probe on the low ground already to see... to warp in a 3rd base, but then instead realize that you're being cheesed. Actually, it gave us the few seconds we needed. Short and sweet. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Oh, we've got a series. Very clutch, like you expected from an Alex. I believe it. Great save. 20 seconds before the end. I thought Alex was dead. I was like, ay caramba. That is a rough series, a fun series, because a 3-0 for the underdog I still think is a fun 3-0. If the favorite 3-0s, then you can obviously say like, hey, this maybe wasn't as good as it could have been. But if it's 3-0 for the underdog, I will always have a good time. And it was looking like it, but I have an even better time with a game 4. Here we go.
Round 4.
Fight.
In the bottom right side, he is an Italian Protoss player, around 5,300 to 5,500 MMR these days, down 1-2 in this best of 5, where the winner gets $60, the loser gets 15. This is Alex. Does anybody know what LET stands for? Why is he LetaleX? Also known as TVOPA17 on the Battle Aces ladder. If you guys have played any Battle Aces, you've probably lost a couple games against this man, because he was very good. Battle Ace coming back, by the way, guys, in 5 days. I don't mind some free publicity for David Kim and his team. I'm excited to play some Battle Aces again. I hope we have fun with it. And this time, no weird paywalls. All units are unlocked. We can just meme, have fun. Let's go. I think it's going to be good. I hope that it picks up some steam. Top left side of Whispers of Gold. We are looking in the main base of a Canadian Zerg. Still up 2-1. This is Jay. Playing an excellent series. And I loved this build last game, guys. Even if it didn't work out, I still loved his build. Lots of great Zerg plays today. I know. Since on the Monday night, mate, it's nothing but Terrans and Protoss. And you guys always say, oh, not a PvP, too much TVP. I figured that we should get a night with a lot of Zergies. It also helped that Starkiller exclusively requested ZVZ. Jay was an underdog, I think, coming into it. Based on MMR, based on the results of the last few months, Jay was a minor underdog. Obviously, you should never be the overwhelming underdog, because if you are, then I did a bad job. But I think a minor underdog. Thank you to GeForce. 200 biddies. Look at me, baby. Jay took a map of me. Making it seem like that's an accomplishment, mate. Wait until you get that Showmatch. The other day, guys, I'm just logging into Battle.net to give a couple replays to Winter. Winter put in a request. I was like, alright, I'll log into Battle.net. I'll go find these replays. First thing I see is Inexorable whispering me, so Roddy, when are we playing a best of 5? He's just dropping the gauntlet on the old man. These young Brazilian kids, they don't even know what they're getting into. They don't know, guys. They see me be mediocre and they think they want a piece of me, but it's gonna be one hell of a series, matey. We're gonna make it happen real soon. Roddy versus Inex. Banger. No, it will not be part of any big brain bouts. But we'll do it at a nice moment. No, guys. As much as I love the big brain bouts, and obviously it'd be fun to play in it, because even with losing I would make money, which is great, because I'm very good in losing. It's not meant for me. It's meant for the players. It is meant to make gamers out there happy. I'm already happy with all of you guys tuning in, watching, and the support I get from Basilisk. I don't need to take any prize money. It's for the video gamers. Two adepts going in circles. I like that for the first time in this series, Alex is actually opening up double adept. Well, he did it last game as well, and hey, he won. But last game we were forced to recall it, obviously. I think the other games we just made a single adept and did a tiny bit of scouting. Now we're looking for some early damage. We're looking for some success, and I'm a fan. I was thinking, by the way, of sneaking in those Serral DMs to see if he is down to play a couple games in the near future. I don't want to bother Yona every week. I know that the GOAT needs his time off and doesn't want to play too many public matches, but it's been a while, right? Last time we saw Serral, I think once every 2-3 months would be great. But obviously, number 100, we definitely need to have Serral, but maybe we can ask him now, and then we can ask him again in 6 weeks. Who knows? Single Oracle into a 3-base into Resonating Glaive Adept. That is the opening here for Alex. It's all gonna come down to execution. Thank you to Captain Hair for the 58 months. Vamos. I'm fluent in Spanish. How much does Jay know, guys? How much does Jay know? How much he preaches macro Zergs to the boys in the swarm? Isn't that just like an all-around low MMR video gaming thing? Outside of the cannon rushes, everybody sees themselves as an honorable macro player. Well, the truth is that 97% is basically all in with every single attack. I don't think this is a Canadian J exclusive. And honestly, I can't think of many Zergs who are exclusively that honorable. Even if I think of the very best Zergs out there. I think Dark is wild and very, very aggressive. I think Shin is mega aggressive. I think Solar is mega aggressive. There are very few Zergs who just casually sit back and try to have perfect answers. I know J Money Magic sees himself like that, but he ain't part of that group. Lambo, I wouldn't say always all in, but Lambo is definitely a man of extremes, right? Like if Lambo makes roaches and ravages and he puts on his little German autobahn through the center of the map, oh, we let the shade finish up. Is that crazy? Yeah, Lambo will definitely hit you with the occasional very gnarly, very committed / all-in build too. I don't know if this shade was good or bad. The good thing is that he bought time and that he picked off a lot of units. The bad thing is that now obviously our adepts are very far away from a strong defensive spot. Queens are a little bit ahead of the party. Ooh, that's a lot of adepts in the main base. Italian Alex is the first one who's going to find rocket damage here, and Jay's not even caring. Jay says, F those adepts. I don't care. Kill the pylon here, mate. Jay, you want... No, you don't try to kill 3 batteries. You kill the pylon. Oh. A little bit of a mistake. I don't know if this is good enough for Italian Alex, guys. Oh my goodness, he's got only 1 pylon in the natural. That pylon is very exposed. The stalker count is rising at a pretty rapid pace, to be fair. He might have an answer. The Oracle hasn't died yet. Split some Zerglings into the main, into the natural. I know there are still adepts with glaives. Can he get the Oracle here? No, he cannot. Close fight. If Canadian J finds the damage that he is looking for, the first best of 5 of the night will go in favor of him. Should have killed this pylon 10 times over. That would have also only allowed slow warp-ins. Uh-oh, Jay. Uh-oh. And doors wide open. Did not manage to sneak any units in. I think the biggest mistakes of all of them, guys, was Jay not killing this pylon. Because then you can let these batteries finish up. Who cares? 3 unpowered batteries and no fast warp-ins. This pylon is way too far away. And that pylon would have gone down 100 out of 100 times if he would have dropped some corrosive balls on it. I think a massive missed opportunity. Alex, I don't think should be moving out. I think Alex moving out is a little bit crazy. I know he's got blink stalkers and stuff, but he's also up 25 workers. There are some links running rampage between the natural and the main base. If he's very cautious and he's careful here, it might be okay, but I don't think this is really needed. And Ravages, especially if they take control of the high ground here, are powerful. Like now we are taking damage when we really don't have to take damage. Oracle runs out of energy. Super unnecessary move out, no? Just a super unnecessary move out. I think the game is still okay for Italian Alex. He's still absolutely winning, but he needs to be careful. He's playing with fire. I also don't think that Jay should go down this ramp to battle a couple stalkers. This is normally not the fight that I would recommend, but I guess he's doing it to still create some chaos and try to keep the Italian Protoss busy. Alex is in a really good spot if he just slows the game down a little bit. Get a couple cannons, DU upgrading, drop a robo. If we chill and we force the Zerg to attack into us, we always win. If we're aggressive on the other side of the map, we might win. We are winning. But, you know, you're one bad run by away from taking terrifying damage. Uh-oh. Tiny run by, and at the same time, Lings are going to jump on the Stalkers in the center of the map. Now, a lot of the Stalkers have Blink. The Link should be able to surround a couple of them. Overall, decent pickup here by Jay, but Jay needs a lot more than 1 or 2 Stalkers. He has killed 3 probes. That's also not quite good enough. The Zealot charge is not quite done yet. I think that Alex should always be fine here. Still a 19 worker lead. He's got Blink. Storm is 70-80% done. First series of the night. We're going to game 5. We're not quite there yet, but it's really starting to look like this should be a 5-game series. Opportunities for both of the players, to be honest, in this game. But well done. Well done by Alex, as he has indeed transitioned. He has stacked up a little bit. He is now using that big economic advantage he's been working with for a while. Is he catching corrosive balls like they're hot? Yes. I don't know who made that song anymore, but it doesn't matter. He's making him proud. But Alex is gonna be fine. Still has that Oracle too. That Oracle was low on HP the first time, and the Queens were on the other side of the map. But it is good enough. The Italian is gonna send us to the first of hopefully many game 5s tonight. And that's how you do it, Bully. A strong start is important, mate. Those back-to-back trios, it makes the people worry. Do they still have it? You start off with a 5-game series. That probe was on a mission. It would have taken a very long time. And I don't think Rainer and Bjorn would be very happy if we'd be watching a probe trying to kill a hatchery from full HP. Zerglings will, I think, once more be able to make it in. I think he could have made it through there, but it doesn't really matter. This Protoss army right here is at this point too powerful. Alex is definitely struggling throughout the series in keeping his money low. Could be some nerves, could be maybe he's trying to do a few too many things at once. That is something that Jay could potentially take advantage of in game 5, but not in game 4. This got close, and I really believe if the Roaches and the Ravagers just snipe that pylon that prevent quick warp-ins at the 3rd, then you're forced to warp in Stalkers in the natural, you're forced to warp in save 2 groups. There is a chance that he doesn't cancel the batteries because hoping he can just repower them later on. I think that Jay maybe could have killed Alex, but not going for the pylon was a big mistake. I'm gonna eat these words when Rainer trios. I don't think anybody wearing a Basilisk shirt would ever be too upset when Rainer trios. I also saw a picture of Rainer earlier hanging out with Harstem, Zenster, and Petit Drogo, so I don't know if you are willing to die on that trio hill, but I believe in my boy, but I also know my boy very well. And if he is in a fun environment with the Euro squad, I don't know if we'll see peak performance. You have Night Phoenix stopping by saying, "Hi, I'm ready, BBB." I opened a bracket. I don't know what bracket. Was it the Rising Star bracket? I think you have a pretty good run in that one. So I was looking at it, but I think throughout history, mate, I've invited you enough. The problem is European Protoss. If there is one thing that I do not lack in life, it is European Protosses between 5-5 and 6-3. I can have 17 Big Brain Bouts filled up with nothing but PvPs between European Protosses that are on the upper echelon of 5k. I don't really encourage the off-racing. It's not that I hate off-racing. It's just that I would only do it if the entire night is full of off-racing. That's when I am okay with it. But I don't really like better guys off-racing to then find a good MMR matchup with a lower ranked player. It's not exactly the kind of content that I'm looking for.
Final round. Fight!
Bottom left side, guys. Can we get a reverse sweep? First series of the night. Once more showing us that he is a quality all-around a video gamer. A tiny Italian stallion. It is Alex. Top right side of a beautiful Errholm, opening up with a pool. No drones have snuck out as far as I know. Just pool first. We are looking at the main base of our Canadian Zerg. It's Jay. And a Protoss versus EU Protoss. That could actually be kind of fun. Like, so if you give it a bit of a story. But the problem is, mate, you guys don't have to convince me. If you guys say like, "Hey, Roddy, actually like 4 PvPs would be fun," and then get a couple of the cannon rushes against each other, print F, bow and down, haha, it'd be so cool. I think it's kind of fun. The problem is that people that don't play Protoss, which is going to be like 66% plus of the viewership is not gonna find it fun. It's gonna be like, this is really dumb. Well done, mate. 500 buckies wasted. So it will just get a lot of negative responses that I'm not too eager for. A lot of people still identify with a race. Like, there's a lot of Starcraft fans in the year 2025 that barely play any Starcraft, if any, or haven't played 1v1 in years. But they will still forever identify as a Zerg and enjoy the Zerg games more. Or they will forever identify as a Terran and enjoy the Terran games a little bit more. Just because people haven't played in 3-4 years doesn't mean they have lost their loyalty to whatever race they picked a long time ago. So if I do a night with nothing but Protoss, that will still turn away a lot of viewers. Gamer Richie says he's all about the stim. And Gamer Richie still plays. I know you've got hands, mate, but there are people who have played a whole lot less than you, but they will forever feel as a Terran or a Zerg or a Terran Zerg fan. So Jay has opened up, guys, pool first, but hasn't really done anything too weird, too crazy as a follow-up. This does mean that his economy overall is a little bit worse. He's going to try to be annoying here. He can kill this probe, by the way, if the probe doesn't do any mineral walking. For a single Zergling, guys. In Game 5, you're looking for little victories, and for a single Zergling, that was quite good. Now, these two adapts could become problematic. 1, it's a full drone surround. 3 is already solid. 4 is good. 5... Still victory for Italian Alex. 4 drones this early is always a victory. Are you saying that the decision I made when I was 15 is wrong and I shouldn't be loyal to it? Didn't say anything about it being right or wrong. Even though we all know that if you didn't pick Zerg, technically you made the wrong choice. Let's be in full agreement here. But no, that's not what I meant. What I just meant is that just because people don't play doesn't mean they're not necessarily more or less excited over certain races. Starcraft is a hard game to play. I don't blame a lot of you guys for enjoying watching more than playing. Starcraft is stressful, it's intimidating, it's difficult. It's everything that we appreciate the best players in the world for. But just because people don't play and don't feel like they want to put themselves through those motions, does not mean they don't have loyalty or love for Terran or Zerg over Protoss. I think as long as I'll be casting tournaments, I will always play a little. But let's say there is a world where there's just nothing that I cast anymore, then I'd probably play a whole lot less. Because StarCraft is stressful. It is intimidating. And when it comes to having fun, it's like, I've been playing for 15 years, you know. I kind of know the fun it can give me. Eventually, other things are fun. But as long as I'm a caster, I will obviously always try to get a few games in. It just gets me... I don't know, gets me more excited, gets me in the mood, and it really keeps the appreciation for what the best players out there are doing too. Another race week? I know, mate. I'm gonna have an F1 race this weekend with my friends. Bahrain, I'm never good at it. I'm going to lose. But you know the beautiful thing, guys, is that even if I'll lose to like 85% of our lobby, I won't lose to Pi. So I'll still have a great race. I'm excited for it. Also excited to watch. I love F1 weekends. You should, Skizzy. You're always welcome, and we have nothing but lovely people in the lobby. Anybody that wants to play some F1 24, I assume that the game is mega cheap right now, and if you want to find some StarCraft nerds to race with, our doors are open. We have a few free slots, not too many, but like 5 or 6 for full-length races. It is legitimately fun, and if you worry about being bad, don't worry. We love Pi. He's bad, he's slow. Doesn't matter how good or bad you are, you're welcome. The more the merrier, and a full lobby is always a victory. The up count here is quite high for the Italian Protoss Alex. It is a resonating glaive. He cancelled the shade. No, maybe it's a decent choice, to be honest. A lot of lost mining time. Like, the biggest turnaround in game 3, 4, and 5, obviously 3 and 4 a bit weird, but is that Alex is being aggressive here from the very get-go with his first 2 adapts, with the next wave of adapts. Alex is making it past the halfway point of this map. He's in Jay's face, and he's forcing Jay to stress out, and because Jay is stressed out, Jay is making mistakes too. Let's the evolution chamber finish up, so it's a full wall off right now. I wouldn't even kill it, mate. There's so many drones to kill here. Let Jay kill it. You don't have to kill it. Italian Alex, I think, kind of cooking. Well, I don't think he's kind of cooking. I know he's kind of cooking. But there is still StarCraft left to be played here. With Hydras and Banes on the production tab, the Zerg should always be able to create at least one terrifying army. But you can really see that Jay is struggling here, guys. Rallying a couple of drones into their death as well. Oh. Oh. Poor Jay. Poor AJ. 18 Stalkers, 1 Oracle. Jay does have +1 melee. Yeah, Hydras are starting to show up. 4 Hydras is not great. Activate that stasis trappy, mate. Activate the stasis trappy. It is looking incredibly good for Italian Alex, but I'm not calling this 100% over yet. Until there is Storm or something else, or like the Stalker snowball so hard, like you can still throw as a Protoss. You can absolutely... No! Why are you attacking your own creep tumor? I was gonna say this could maybe be a good fight for Jay, but the Zerglings right-click on the creep tumor. Oh, poor Jay with just a few too many big crucial arrows here in Game 5. First series of the night. Reverse sweep. All the drama. Oh, that's gonna feel so good for Alex, who had an absolute horrific start to this best of 5. He probably felt that this was going to turn into one of the worst series he had ever played. And instead, he successfully turns things around. Kills 25 drones, kills the Hydras, kills the Queens, and with that, completes the first reverse sweep, potentially of the night. 3-2, we've gone to distance. Fun series. I feel a bit sad for Jay, where obviously Alex had a horror start to this best of 5. And Jay had a very rough Game 5 there, with the Evolution Chamber finishing up, walling himself in, right-clicking on the Creep Tumor there, already taking a bit too much damage from the first 2 adepts, but your third 2-3. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, matey. Congrats, Alex, and all good, Jay. Bring it in, big man. Give you a virtual hug. The people loved it. I was entertained. And even if you didn't win the 60 buckies, you won in my heart, and that counts too. Alrighty, let's go ahead and settle that. And what a close save in Game 3, by the way, Alex. Woo! More gameplay coming today, of course. We always do 4 best of 5s. On the Friday night, we give out $500 in total. This is not stretched across 17 different days. No, it's just $500 one night. Alex wins our first series of the night. The next one is for 80-20. The third one is for 125. And the last one is for 150 and 50. Next up, ZVZ. I think the second most rare matchup we have in the Big Brain Bouts on average. Should be a fun one. Starkiller requested a ZVZ. That's all he wanted. Let's see. Let's see if he can live up to the hype of being a ZVZ expert. What would that look like? I don't know. We're about to find out together. I think TVT is the least played, but I have done it a few times. It's not like I've never done it. Some people seem to think that I hate it with a passion. That's not true. It's just that I, a few times in the past, would stay up till like 4 or 5 a.m. casting NA qualifiers, and I would stumble upon an upper 3 TVT where literally for 24 minutes they're doing nothing other than building missile turrets and sensor towers. Yeah, that's obviously not fun. Then you start naturally developing a tiny bit of hatred towards the matchup. But then you start casting like Clem against Gumio in the past when Clem still played Terran, and then you love it again, or Hero Marine Spirit. TVT ain't that bad. There are TVTs that are bad, but to be fair, that goes for PvZ as well. I've casted some really bad PvZs back in the days. Starkiller versus Eggs, the best of 5. The winner gets $80, the loser gets 20. Starkiller is an NA, or a USA Zork, I should say. And Eggs is Colombian Z. Not the first time for Eggs, not the first time for Starkiller. I'll give you guys 15 minutes to get your predictions in. I'll take a tiny break. Any gameplay incoming, or are we just chatting at the moment? I literally just answered that, mate. So I'll give you 10 minutes into the corner. How does that sound? 10 minutes, matey. No peeking. I don't know if you're still here, by the way, Wiseacre SSB. But I guess if you mentioned if I've casted other esports, I don't think you meant StarCraft. Let me know if you're still here. I'll answer the question after the break, but also clarify what you tried to ask me. When it comes to StarCraft, we've done everything. All right. Let me know what you meant, and I'll answer it after the break, and then we'll be back. Second best of 5 of the night is coming up.